Sorry, 15th overall pick in the first round. What do you guys think we should do with it? Do you think we should move it? Do you think we should use it? If we should use it, is there a prospect you have in mind that we could use it on? Is there a position in mind that we should use it on? I mean, what do you guys think? Let's just open it up for a fun discussion.
Everything is obviously on the table with that too.
Yep.
Because
of course, that's assumed. Let's assume everything's on the table. What would you guys want to happen?
If you can get a good
who would that be?
Top 4 defenseman, then I would consider moving it. Like
let's go
the standard like names that come up. Like Chris Tanev.
That's like a free agent.
Yeah, so they might just sign him.
Yeah.
That's what they might use the cap space.
Vancouver will re-sign Tanev. He's playing too well with Hughes right now. Like him and Hughes are like their top line, their top defense pairing. They're not going to let him go. I can't see that happening.
There's the two prospects that stand out to me. I got to find the one. I can't remember the one guy's name, but there's obviously the goalie, the Russian goalie, Askarov.
I have an entire.
Or you're talking about who you're going to draft.
No, but I'm just saying if they're going to draft somebody with that pick.
Are you talking Braden Schneider?
Yes, that's who it is. I couldn't remember his first name.
He's the two-way right-handed defenseman. He's 6'2", 220, I think. He plays for the Brandon Wheat Kings.
He's an older guy too. He's
not
a
late
overager,
birthday.
But
he's a late birthday. It still is his draft year, but he's a late birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a guy. Apparently, he's very NHL ready, according to Craig Button. Take that with a grain of salt. So he's very NHL ready. He can step in within the next 2 years. I like that draft pick. He's kind of Brandon Carlo-esque, with a little more offensive upside from the limited knowledge that I have of him. But so I do like that pick. I've also seen Jake Sanderson dropping recently, which is like he's the number 2 ranked defenseman in the draft. Mm-hmm. So I've seen him dropping. It all really depends, obviously, on who goes where.
Which is part of the...
Say Jamie Drysdale makes it out of the top 5, right? And that's actually plausible that could happen.
Yeah.
Say he comes out of the top 5. Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen, but it is plausible. Like
I think Ottawa
should take him at 5.
Yeah.
But they could go Stoitzel and Marco Rossi, or even Alexander Holtz. Like one of those like skilled wingers, because they're not bad for defensive prospects. They have Brannstrom, who's going to be playing next year if he hadn't already played at the end of last year. I'm not sure. They had Chabot. Obviously, they have Zaitsev locked in for 6 more years or whatever the fuck.
I think
so. He's got a spot.
I
don't know. Young defensemen. It doesn't seem like it's really their pressing need. But with 2 top 5 picks, you just pick best player available with that second one. I say.
Part of the issue for me though is going to be the Leafs have this is a reality that's going to start setting in soon. The Leafs have Austin Matthews for 4 more years, then he's a free agent. Like he could be gone in 4 years.
That's part of my thing.
Which is why I think
that's part of my thing.
And Morgan Riley's a free agent 2 years, so the clock is ticking, probably a lot sooner than people want to realize that it's ticking. So, to me, I think I would seriously consider.
I have a serious
trade
pitch.
That pick,
I have a serious pitch for Askarov.
I think.
I have a very serious pitch for Askarov.
If you're talking about trading that pick, I think you talks with Carolina because they have like a ridiculous defensive depth.
Yeah.
And then they have the 13th pick too.
And 15th.
There's been rumors that Florida is like Ekblad.
That was so. I was listening.
They're looking to trade Ekblad.
Also, Calgary's losing Hamonic and Brody to free agency.
Yeah.
One of them we could sign. What do you think we could get? We could get one of them for.
I'm talking about if they're what would they be looking for if they're going to trade the pick?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Let's stay on track. I'm going off.
No. Definitely I think Brody, like Tanev, those are the guys that you're looking at if they're just going to sign someone.
I like Hamonic better than those two.
One of the things that I heard on the radio too, I heard Chris Johnson say this, that does a Nylander for, this is obviously wild speculation, but does Nylander,
sounds like
I don't think that's happening
Nylander,
now, but this was obviously before this, but he said, does Nylander for Ekblad make any sense?
Makes sense. I don't know.
Ekblad's worth more than that.
When you look at the way that team is, you'd obviously have to throw in maybe a little bit more, but they've got a new throw in a third. They've got a new GM stepping in there. Obviously it's a team that's always been pretty cash strapped. Nylander's got all his money paid to him. He's like a cap hit that is way above his actual money due. So I think you could make a.
How much does Ekblad get paid?
7.5 is his cap hit.
So how many more years? Like 6?
Till 2025 through 2025.
So what if you did like a Janssen in the first, and throw in. You probably have to throw in more.
Throw in a third.
But
I don't think you're making that trade without William Nylander going the other way, or Marner. But I don't like.
Well, yeah. Well,
you don't think you could do Janssen first and like and
No.
like
No.
Rasmus Sandin?
No.
nah. I think they're gonna want a yeah.
Anyways,
that's
that's just again wild speculation. But I think that's obviously one of the big things that this trade does. It just gives them so much more flexibility. It gives them the cap space. It gives them the pick, and it gives them a decent prospect that they could use all three of those things to bring in a good defenseman. So
Okay, so Mike, what are you thinking? Are you thinking we're probably? I think we're probably going to move the pick. I want us to take somebody. I want to use it because I'm a draft nerd. I really want to get into it. I want to like. I whenever the Leafs don't have a pick, I always like lose my almost like my passion for following the draft. This is a selfish thing.
I know.
For me.
I really
it's
don't.
a selfish
get it.
thing. For
like
me.
if they can get a good player now, you just get the good player.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that I don't like that either. I'm saying I'm saying in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, I wish, because I love watching the draft. It's literally just a personal thing for me. It's not like they shouldn't do it because I want to watch the draft. Like I think that's where you're misconstruing.
Like I'd rather the team be
do whatever we can to make the team better. But I like watching the draft. I like watching the draft picks, and I have a pretty good argument, I would say, for why we should pick a certain guy. If you guys want me to get into that,
go for it.
Unless Mike, because it's going to be a little bit of a spiel. So if Mike wants to talk to me about and talk to us about what he wants to do with it.
Well, no, I think just do this is obvious, like
the
obvious,
fence sitter.
But
do what you can do.
Well, there's no
and that's it.
I don't think there's you have to trade the pick or you don't. It's like if you can get what you need for trading the pick, then trade the pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not but I think it's stupid to be like they have to trade this pick.
Oh no, yeah, we're not putting definites on it. We're not putting
draft,
definites on
right?
anything. I'm just saying, what would you want us to do? If you had to choose either or, trade it or draft.
Well, I would say trade it just because you're getting a guy who's going to help you.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
I agree, but you need to make sure that that's something that's actually going to help you.
Dubas doesn't have a lot of rope in terms of messing up
I like
trades
making Mike
anymore.
make decisions. I prefer it.
Like, what would I rather have happen? I'd obviously rather them trade the pick and have someone who can help you next year. Like, this team is a win. As ridiculous as it may seem, they didn't make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They're a win now.
Yeah.
So you're obviously maximized now.
I think we have a bigger window than people think.
Like a 3-year window.
5 years.
Well, no,
It's not
4 years.
don't.
4 years. I give us a 4-year window, and this works into my argument here.
But you're looking at like trading some of those guys if you don't have anything going on in the next 2 or 3 years. Like, if you're sitting in the same spot in 3 years, you're like trading Marner.
We're 3 years away from like Austin Matthews trade speculation, which is like fucking
yeah,
wild.
That's what I mean. If you're not making anything happen, you're like, what can we get for Austin Matthews?
Yeah.
Like that's
No, I'd say we trade Tavares before. I don't think Matthews is going anywhere.
We'll see. He can't like.
That's me thinking. That's not me That's not me predicting the future.
Fight.